Ben Barger is an Olympian. You've probably seen him on TV sailing, and you have joined us this week at Four Roses Bourbon for is it an internship? What do you call this?
It's a week rotation. Adecco is the world's largest staffing agency, and they sponsor the Olympics. And so in their support of the Olympics, they're helping a select few Olympians get a job. And so I'm one of those transitioning Olympians that they're featuring in a few different industries from some of the largest brands in the world. And so Four Roses was one of those, and our first stop for Adecco to showcase some of the industry and learn skills and whatnot that Olympic athletes can bring to Bourbon Land.
You're not going to want to leave Bourbon Land, are you?
It's going to be really hard to go on these other few rotations. This is going to be the company to beat, I think, and I'm not joking. I've tried a lot of different whiskeys, especially while training in London and for the last Olympics, and this is very good stuff. And it's good to know that it's from the heart of America, and it's good to be back home having some real bourbon that's straight from the barrel, like we did in our tasting today. And it's fascinating. Yeah, it's great.
We drank bourbon straight from the barrel this morning, starting at 9:30. Noticed you were really enjoying it. We were all really enjoying the flavor, the purity of it right from the barrel. What have you been enjoying about Four Roses?
It's these people are they're just the kindest people I've ever met. I mean, they're all so excited about their brand. They're all so excited about the product. They all love it. The people are emphatic, and it's something in that industry that's, I guess, contagious. So.
And they've had you putting some labels on some bottles. What else have they had you doing?
Oh, I've done. Yeah, I mean, I wrapped presents for the gifting. I've also done speaking to the Camp Run Amok. Camp Run Amok is these mixologists that are selected out of around 1,000 mixologists around the country. They come and visited Four Roses to be able to sample some of the product and understand and take a tour of the distillery. And so I did a bit of speaking to them, and also went alongside with the tour with Al and Jim, and had a fantastic time learning about their differences and how they mix Four Roses. So,
how does being an Olympian prepare you for life? I mean, what do you learn from your experiences as an Olympian?
Normal life and Olympic life is obviously quite a bit different. We're in a little bubble, I would say. Living as an athlete is a bit of a bubble world because you know it's not going to last forever, but it's just that cool. It's kind of an excuse not to grow up, but at the same point, growing up is something that's just part of life. And for me, I've had to work off and on while training and competing, but it's something that I'd say builds character. It builds the ability to understand how you are ranked in the world, kind of, in your capability. So if you're good at athletics, a lot of times you'll be able to transfer that into another trade just as successfully. And I think it's the willpower and motivation that takes over time. It's not necessarily right out the bat that you always win, but I think the Olympian motto and the ability to continue to drive and try to achieve more for yourself is something that I think the Olympics is able to bring into work. And passionate as well.
You ever thought about sailing in a river or a sea of bourbon?
Yeah, the Sea of Bourbon category is good.
And this experience here in Kentucky at Four Roses has truly made you think about what you're going to do next. I mean, you might really do something like this.
Yeah, I've worked in nutrition and things that are around sports supplement and whatnot, and some of the food beverages and whatnot that go along with obviously making yourself optimal for performance. Bourbon obviously is a lifestyle. It's not something you do for performance, but it's something that you do for living and enjoying living. And I think that's something that I can relate to well in selling an Olympic brand to sponsors and other individuals. And I think that's something that can carry on to bourbon and understanding the delicacies of the different styles, mashes, and how they get to put together and the appreciation for that sophistication. So, yeah.
Ben, this is my kind of nutrition right here. What do you say?
Cheers.
Cheers. He's the Olympian sailor. I'm the Olympian bourbon drinker. Together, we're two Olympians enjoying some bourbon.
Thanks for having me.
And we saw you in London, didn't we? You were in London?
I was an alternate in London.
Yeah.
I was on the main team in Beijing, and I was an alternate in Athens as well in 2004. So.
We had a little problem here. They're taking away our barrels. Are you a little sad to see these go? That was some good bourbon.
I think I like number 2. So is that my number 2 barrel? That is number 2. Number 2 barrel is leaving. We don't do that back home.